Oh my gosh, I don't know what the heck that was about, man. Dang, that was so derailing. I don't know what the heck happened there. My dumb stupid jeez. I like I hate it when that stuff happens. I don't even know what happened. I didn't somehow my devices got crossed. I have no idea. I somehow had like two Bluetooth devices connected at the same time. That was ridiculous. Ah man, I hope that didn't destroy any kind of reverence that I had. And oh my goodness, that sucks so bad. That sucks so bad. Ay ay ay. Oh, that was bad. Damn it. What a great way to honor my cat. What a great way to honor my cat, right? Jesus. Oh my goodness. I can't believe that. I can't believe that. Ay ay ay. Well, I mean, oh man. Ah, so angry. Can't believe that happened. Yeah. Hey man. Thanks, Artie. Thanks for showing up, man. Um. Jeez. That was so derailing. Oh man. Hang on. Yeah. I'm gonna start from the beginning, of course. I hope the audio's coming in good. I I I've been working like crazy, so I had to leave my laptop at work because um I have to be going back and forth like day and night now. So I it's too much to be bringing it back and forth. So I just figured since this was gonna be a simple stream, I could I could just do it off of my phone. Um, yeah. So as I was saying, man, from the beginning, Gordo it has an interesting story, and I wanted to kind of share it because I felt like one of the easiest ways to grieve is to like just think about like all the memories and everything. And like I was saying, Gordo's life started from two cats that I had. Um, the first one was a feral cat called Tigress. Now Tigress was a cat that would come around a lot. She's one of those feral cats that I don't know if people have had feral cats. She was beautiful. She would come and I would give her food, and she always was like being chased around by like some cat, by some tabby, some alley cat, some tomcat out there like looking for her, stuff like that. But she always like used to just like stay away from all the other alley cats and would come to me, and like it was so nice to have her. And then I got a cat from the pound uh that I called Pantero. Now the reason why I got Pantero was because I used to go and volunteer at this shelter, and he was there maybe like I think like 3 weeks, 4 weeks or something like that, and that shelter wasn't one of the ones that would keep them alive. Like if they were there for a while, they didn't find the home for them. They had to euthanize them. It was pretty sad. I didn't like that practice of theirs, but they couldn't. According to them, they had no choice. They had to do it because the cat population was really high at the time. And Pantera was the only one that nobody wanted to take home, and I felt bad for him, so I took him. And I remember wondering if Pantera was neutered, um, and to my surprise, he wasn't. um, and uh, and so he ended up hooking up with Tigress, and Tigress had a litter of four kitties that I ended up keeping. Now, Gordo was one of them, and that's how he got his name. Gordo was the first cat that I ever seen, even as a baby. He was a little pudge ball. He he was this uh he was this little pudge ball, and nothing, no name I could ever give him stick more than Gordo, which means just it just means fat. It just means fat in Spanish, if you're wondering. and he he was this little fat boy, and he was funny. He was funny. He was the one with the most personality. He would uh he would always like bull himself through like his brothers and sisters. His brother his brother Smokey Pant Part Two, or what I like to call Smokey Deuce. Smokey Deuce was he was a successor to my first Smokey because he looked exactly like him. I always thought he was the reincarnation of Smokey because Smokey was a gray cat that I lost to a pit bull attack, and Smokey Deuce would be the first casualty of the four brothers. Uh, he would fall to a dog as well. Smokey Deuce only lasted about a year and a half before he was killed by the neighbor dog. Uh, he he was a little bit more daring than all of his brothers, so I mean, maybe it was in his card. Maybe he had his mother's blood. I don't know. He just couldn't be he couldn't be tamed. Smokey Deuce couldn't be tamed. Um, Pantero Pantero would then later succumb to the same dog. Um, it was an unfortunate event, and the neighbor lady was very sad about it as well because I was too down thanks to the same dog. Tigress Tigress never met that fate. She lived and made it to her old age. But this is where Gordo comes in. When I first had Gordo as a little kitty, he was with me. He was with me with his brothers, and I raised him for about 2 years. The neighbor, a friend of mine, had a daughter who wanted one of my cats. At the time, I felt relieved that somebody wanted one of my cats because I felt like they were. It was a little too much. It was a little too much to have three of them. It was a little too expensive, and my my family wasn't too happy with me having them. Uh, Gordo was the thorn in my side. He uh, he never listened to me, and he always fought me. Um, I figured if somebody had to go, it had to be Gordo, and so I gave my friend Gordo, and she took him with her daughter. A year later, I did the mistake of going to jail, and I went to jail for a year. When I came out of jail, my friend told me that she couldn't keep Gordo anymore. She couldn't keep Gordo anymore because Gordo was just not listening to her, and her daughter just wasn't ready to have a pet. When I got home, Tigress was still around, and the last son that she had, Nacho, he was still with her. Now the little girl was very sad. She didn't want to lose Gordo. This is kind of where the this is kind of where I kind of felt like Gordo was meant to be mine. Um, when I went to go pick him up, he looked at me like like I would like he had seen in like the savior. I'll never forget. He literally jumped from the door to my arms and was like, thank you for coming back, thank you for taking me out of here. Like I missed you, buddy. Like I had never seen a cat so excited to see me. Um, Unfortunately, the little girl, of course, was sad. She was really sad. So I I thought about it and I was like, you know what, Tigress is such a calm kitty. Even though she's feral, she's really calm. She never causes any trouble. And the only problem with her is that she doesn't like to be inside. She likes to be outside. But she takes care of herself well. And I told my friend, hey, you know what? If you take this cat and I'll give you her box where she likes to sleep, I promise you that she won't go away. Just give her food and your daughter will have a cat and you don't have to have it inside. And I promise you that Tigress is a much nicer cat. So we made the switch. I left Tigress and Nacho with my friend, and I took Gordo. After that, me and Gordo were partners. He was like, there was nothing I didn't do that he wasn't involved in. When I came home from work, he would be sitting there. When people died in my life, he was there. We went to the park, would hang out. I took him on some dates, and even that, we were inseparable. There was something about it. I just eventually it gets to the point where I didn't even know what it was like not to have him with me. Yeah, I made plans that had to include him. Thank you guys, and I appreciate you guys being here. I really do. I really do appreciate you guys a lot. I thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me right now. And I want to get through this because, like I said, this is how I grieve. This is how I get through it. I talk about it. It makes me feel better because I reminds me of why this life was so precious to me. I I remember just always making plans around Gordo. Like, hey, if I'm gonna go somewhere, someone gotta take care of him. Am I gonna have to bring him with me? It wasn't like a I didn't feel like I was held down by him at all. Like I felt like it was just like wherever I go, he goes. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I wasn't gonna leave him behind for anything. He gave me a lot of joy when my friend, you know, decided to end his own life. I remember holding Gordo and feeling his purr, and it was comforting. When I lost my pops, Gordo was sitting on my lap, and I felt better. When I lost my grandpa, Gordo came with me to the funeral. I felt his head rubbing on my leg. He always knew when I was down. It's like he knew when I needed him. That's something you can't train. It's a bond. It's a thing that nobody understands unless you know it. Hell, sometimes I felt like never things were petty and like things I shouldn't be upset about. He would put his little paw to touch me lightly, and it felt like he was telling me, "Hey, bud, fuck all that." He even had this distinct meow that I'll never forget. It resonates in my head. This low monotone meow, just meow meow. Whenever he just like it felt like he was just telling me like, dude, relax. We're gonna be okay. Yeah, yeah, they are. They are already. They are just like our friends, just like our good friends. Um, Gordo, Gordo had his way. Gordo had his way. he never listened to me in certain things. I couldn't keep him from eating more than one can. As much as I tried, every time I had a can of food, he had to kill it. He never could stop himself. I'd be like, Gordo, no, we gotta save food. And he could kill a can as faster than I could open it. The funny thing about Gordo, though, he loved his cat food. He never touched my food, though. He would never eat like my food. Like I could leave hamburgers, I could leave chicken and all kinds of different food. He would never touch it. He knew that the canned food that I got him, the treats that I got him were for him, and that my food was my food, and he respected that. I really don't know if that was a thing of his or just a thing of being a cat. I don't know. He was very particular about his food. It's something that I'll never forget too. So particular. Of course, I had my scares with Gordo too. There were times when I was out and I was moving, and I remember I got into this apartment where I thought I could sneak him in because I was like, he'll be quiet. Nobody will know that he's there. I had to move in there because I was in transition, so I had to get a place. And I remember I got this place, and I was like, they're never gonna notice him. But of course, Gordo had this thing about wanting just he had to be in front of a window watching stuff all the time. And he would always poke his head out, and I'd be like, Gordo, don't! You're gonna get us caught up, man. And somebody saw him, and they snitched on me. And so I remember I got upset, and I was like, "You see, now we can't stay here no more." And I don't know about y'all, but I used to talk to him like if he was a person. I don't know why. I don't know if he ever listened to me or whatever. But I felt like I hurt his feelings because I remember he he jumped down. I was yelling at him, and he was like, at the time, I had like a little like tree thing for him or whatever, and he loved to be on the highest point. And I remember he jumped down, and my door was slightly cracked. It was just slightly cracked. He ran straight forward and he took off. And I remember that was the first time that he ever scared me. I went looking for him, and I was frantic. I was panicked. I was super panicked. I I I, I looked from all over that apartment complex, like, Gordo, where the fuck are you? I had all the neighbors coming out and looking for him too. They were like, your cat is missing. I'm like, yeah. Like where? And they all went looking for him. Turns out a lot of people had animals in that apartment complex. By the way, I I was scared because I didn't see him for a whole day, and I thought, man, did I lose my friend? And thankfully, it was only that day. And then the next day, he was there in the morning, trying to come in through the door, meowing, trying to get inside. Oh, I had plenty of those, Artie. I had plenty of those. He used to, he used to sleep on my chest. Those cold nights, he would just get on my chest. And I could still feel his little paws. And God damn it, it would hurt sometimes. He'd dig his little claw in, and I'd be like, Gordo, don't. And he'd just forget for a moment. And he'll lay his head on me, like, saying, my bad, dog. I didn't mean that. I had to leave him when I came to Oklahoma. I couldn't get him cleared to fly with me. They say he was old. In a way, he kind of told me too. Every time I used to go somewhere, every time, every time I would go somewhere, he knew when I was taking him. He knew when he was gonna have to stay behind, and he knew when I was taking him. When I was taking him, he would always pop up and be excited. His little tail would go up, his ears would perk. It was almost like he knew. He's all like, we're going somewhere. I know it." He was a good travel companion. Never made a lot of noise. He would get into a backpack, get into my pockets, wherever I needed him to go, and he'd sit there calmly, waiting for me to get where I was going to get. This time when I was packing for Oklahoma, he never showed me excitement. He never showed me that he was eager to go with me. He, it was kind of depressing because I wondered if something was wrong with him. I wondered if maybe he just was sick or something. He was doing a lot of that this year. I got a friend who's a veterinarian who told me that there's no telling. Me, with experience from having other cats that passed, I also knew that these are telltale signs that the old age was getting to him. He didn't feel like jumping off of things anymore. He waited for me to take him down. He didn't want to play with the dogs or do his running around thing. He just wanted to be laying down. So when I took him to get checked to see if he can join me in Oklahoma, I couldn't get him cleared, and I wasn't going to force him if the vet told me that it wasn't good for him. I asked my mom if she would take care of him. It goes to show how much of a good boy he is, though. My mom only took care of him twice, and she could not wait to have him again. She loved Gordo. In a way, Gordo loved her too. I know he would have preferred to be with me, but I was happy for the pairing. I was hoping I would get reunited with him. This morning, my mom found him. He was on my porch, sitting in the same place we used to love to sunbathe, but he wasn't in his normal sunbathing position. Mom said she found him very stiff, and she knew, so she called me and told me, and I knew. I've been waiting for this day. I've been dreading this day. I've thought about it a lot. I wish every day that I could have brought him with me, and that I could have had that moment with him here. It wasn't in the cards. But in a way, when I left, I kind of felt like he told me, hey bud, don't worry about me. I tried to give Gordo the best life I could. He was there with me every step of the way. That lovely, that lovely little purr that I felt right before I left, that warm feeling of his body, it, it still comforts me. I still feel him. You're right, Artie. You're right. I'll never forget Gordo. I'll never forget all the things he was there for. He represented so much in my life. I used to sing to Gordo all the time. I used to sing to him to make him go to sleep. I'm gonna sing the last part of this song because it was one that I used to sing to him all the time. I hope that whoever's still here can bear with me. It's almost like a prayer. And on I went until the day was gone, and I sat in regret of all the things I've done, for all that I've blessed, and all that I've wronged. In dreams until my death, I will wander on in your house. I long to be room by room, patiently. I'll wait for you there, like a stone. I'll wait for you there, alone, alone. Love you, Guru. Thank you for being here. I love you. Thank you, Artie.